You ever make a goal and then you move the goalpost once you reach it, and then who the cares? Who the fuck cares? Like I said, I am definitely in a your girl is back. I would say good morning, but it's definitely good afternoon. I'm having me some protein cereal. Before I hit the gym today, I've been trying to wait till 12 to eat for the past, what's today? October the 6th. So I've been doing this for about 6 days. It'll be a week tomorrow. So I'm really excited to try to get back in some kind of regimen or schedule. I've been missing since like July. I just needed a break from routine, from schedule. Only routine I really followed was going to work on time. Other than that, I've been going to the gym, working out at home, but I haven't really been doing like a whole lot of strict routine scheduling stuff. And I don't want to start doing strict routine scheduling stuff because I know I just will get back out, but I want to have some kind of schedule, like to my eating, some kind of routine to the food I eat, just kind of stuff like that. So like I didn't want to record like when I wasn't in a routine because I don't want to get anybody else off. This only gonna make sense to me probably, but I'm sure anyway. Like I'm easily influenced for good or for bad. If I see somebody on a good routine work for them, I try it. If I see somebody saying soft life, you don't gotta have routine, rest, put your feet up, I'll do that too. So I just needed the time to just disengage and do whatever I wanted to do. And I really enjoyed these past 3 months, and now I'm gonna do what I want to do and try to get some kind of regimen to my life. Also, I was just kind of overthinking recording what I wanted to record. Like if I wasn't doing something specific or having some specific goal that I couldn't be recording and put stuff out. But I miss being creative and artsy, and this YouTube is a creative outlet for me and I enjoy it. So I am back, but I don't eat this because I don't like soggy cereal. And I'll come back and see y'all in a little bit.
I call you pretty, but it never goes as planned. You think this?
I didn't care if y'all gonna be able to hear me because I didn't bring no mic, but it's been a hot minute since I recorded in the gym. So I haven't got looks in a really long time from carrying like my tripod and this big ass camera around. So very interesting. But anyway, I kind of changed my gym routine since the last time that I've been recording. I do cardio now in the beginning because it's easy and I feel more warmed up for the workout. But I just been doing mainly like 2 or 3 kind of like heavy lifts or compound lifts, and then I would go to the turf to do like more hit style stuff. So we'll see if I stick with that. Today I got a late start because I couldn't get out the house. Also, Drake dropped the album today. I know people don't mess with Drake, but I kind of grew up with Drake. But not grew up because what? He dropped it when I was in high school. Well, all of my good times was Drake music, so let's see what he's talking about. And does anybody else feel? Follow me here. Like him with the bow rats and the hair clips and all that stuff, like he's Jack and Bad Bunny style, like he's Bad Bunny aesthetic. I feel that whenever I see Drake with hair clips and bow rats and all kind of stuff like that, I feel like that's very Bad Bunny style. That's my thought.
I'm just trying to be a man. I wanna show you in the best way that I can that I'm so in love with you. Try to be serious, but you can never tell. It isn't easy to confess how hard I felt when we've just been friends since the day we met. I don't know what to do, 'cause how can I try to cross all the lines that we've always had between you and I? That's who, if I'm just a friend to you. How can I make you change your mind to see me different? Wish I could get your eyes on my prescription.
3 sets. I usually do 4 sets or 12, but these past few months I've been doing whatever the hell I want to do. So today I did 3 sets of 10. Now I'm gonna do some deadlifts. I think RDL deadlifts. So let's set that up.
'Cause maybe all it takes is the same vision for me to get your heartbeat going just as fast as mine. 'Cause I could be your guy. I see you by my side, but maybe I'm just blind, or maybe I'm too serious. I try to keep it in my head, but it isn't really going well. Feeling like we gotta meditate, but I can't escape. And now I hate myself, I hate my thoughts. Been thinking about you and I'm thinking a lot, 'cause I'm never around you. I would tell you, but I don't know how to say what I'm feeling now. I've been feeling down, 'cause I feel the distance growing. Spending more days without you, don't like where we are going. Is it so weird to think that we could be more than friends? Am I just overthinking? Am I not making sense? 'Cause maybe I could change your mind to see me different, and I could get your eyes on my prescription. And maybe all it takes is the same vision for me to get your heartbeat going just as fast as mine. And then I could be your guy. You know I keep you by my side, but maybe
My time at the gym was so like I don't know, all my energy went there, but it was still a good workout. But every day ain't a great day, but I still went. It was so let me see. The last time that I was recording back in July, I was telling you I was preparing for a 50K. I made it to the 50K. And I did a 25K, and I just popped that up here because I don't want to leave y'all hanging of how that went. So some bullshit. Second fall. Tired of this shit. My leg already hurt.
Bobby, oh, Elaine, oh shit. Oh, Elaine, Bobby done fell, Lord have mercy, Bobby. Bobby done fell on her back.
This is not for the fearless. Like, I have a fear of falling, and I done fell twice. I ain't felt this much in my old adult age. And never. All right. Get back on the horse. I also visited like one of my favorite people down in Florida. Tracy! Hey Tracy! You can't see. You can't see. You cannot see y'all. Right, sit down. I just, okay. Big check 1 2 1 2. Ooh. 1 2 1 2. I think it looks better this way though.
What I'm doing? Do I take a picture?
Just, no, don't touch it. Thank you.
Sure.
So I've been doing a little stuff like while I've been offline, still working out. I have like some clips and stuff that I was posting over to Instagram, so I may have this somewhere up on the screen just to catch y'all up where I've been, what I've been doing, same things that I've always been doing, but just sharing. Also, either today or tomorrow, because I think I'm in this kind of vlog thing tomorrow, I'm gonna show y'all what books I've been reading. Because I showed y'all July book. I'll catch y'all up on August, September, and October books. I've been enjoying all three. And I have a new book coming for October. It should be in the mail. Amazon should deliver it to me today. And this is from a recommendation from one of the young ladies that I follow on Instagram. So I'm excited about that one too. But I'll tell y'all about that once they get here. I don't know. I enjoy my books. I still do 1 book a month. And I've been trying to push myself to read 2 books a month. That usually never really happens. I think I've got that done like 1 time this year. You ever make a goal and then you move the goalpost once you reach it, and then it's like, oh, I'm not doing what I said I was gonna do. Well, if you leave the goalpost where it was, you be doing just fucking fine. So 1 book a month, 2 if I can manage it, but really 1. And I'm just stopping at Target. I put in the order for like some home stuff like air freshener, toilet cleaner, all of this stuff. But I didn't realize I was out of laundry detergent. So I actually have to go in and stand in line because I need some laundry detergent. Before I go, let's catch up on TV time. Have y'all been watching TV? Have y'all been watching Love is Blind season 5? Because what is going on? What is going on with these people? You could tell like half of them in the therapy. Half of them use therapy for good. Half of them use therapy for bad. Some of them seem like they'll be really good lawyers. Some of them are really good lawyers. And they are very argumentative. But not in a nice way. But like they attacking the people. I don't want to call no names. But if y'all watching Love is Blind. If y'all know who I'm talking about. Just drop their names below. Because I don't want to make it seem like. I want to get y'all true perception. That's why I'm not name dropping them. But Love is Blind season 5, y'all watching them, who do y'all think is the villain and who do y'all think is the good people? Because every other episode I changed my feelings, except, okay, I'm gonna drop this, except about Uche. Uche has remained the same. Like my feelings about him have remained the same throughout throughout the episodes. Even when I found out production had a hand in some of the dishonesty that was going on, like between him and Aaliyah, just still the way that he presents and the way that he speaks to her and the way he speaks to other people, and try to use his lawyer skills or lawyer sense of looking at stuff, viewpoints. I'm looking for a word. His I can't think of the word that I want to say. Strategic thinking. Maybe it's strategic thinking. I feel like you try to use his argumentative powers like to manipulate people, and I don't like that, because you think that you are smarter than everybody else, and even if people can't articulate the way that you articulate, they still know that you full of shit, and you don't need to know $10 words or have a $10 argument to know when somebody is full of shit. So Uche, I don't know about you, buddy. I don't know about you, buddy. As I said, I will give my opinion. Since we're here, Milton grew on me. At first, I was like, Milton? But Milton, I like me some Milton so far. Okay? He is so unmoved by other people. Like, he lives in his own world. And he's not going to let you take him out of it. I like Milton. Okay, let me get in this store. Okay, y'all, it's been like several days later. I don't know what it is about picking up this camera and feeling like, who cares? But I care. So anyway, I told you I was gonna come back and tell y'all about my last few books of the month. I feel like I already told y'all about Love's Executioner, which was, this is my book for July. I feel like I told y'all about this, but if I'm not, it's just like 10 therapy sessions told by a therapist. And while I was reading this book, I think it was this book, he talked about another book, which is a non-fiction book. It's this book called On Grief and Grieving. This is by like the lady who wrote like the 5 stages of grief or 5 steps of grief: anger, denial, bargaining, acceptance. I'm still missing one in the middle, even though I read it. So it just kind of talks about healing from grief or healing from a loss, and it talks about all different kinds of losses. Losses from old age, loss from cancer, loss of a child, loss of a parent, loss of somebody due to suicide, and just kind of the different things that you may encounter with loss. like anticipatory loss, like you are expecting a loved one to pass. Like maybe they're on hospice, or maybe they're having a long battle with a disease or illness. And then it kind of just breaks down how it's not like a linear kind of thing of how you go through grief in those 5 stages. You could regress, you can go forward, backwards through those stages. You may think that you over something and have accepted it, and then find yourself asking why again, or depressed again. And just saying how when you heal from grief, it's not a heal like you never think about that person again, but it just makes the loss much more bearable. Meaning you are able to get out of bed, you are able to go to work, you are able to laugh again, you are able to enjoy other people again, you are able to love again, you may be able to have another child again. And just how grief and grieving is actually modeled to us through like other people in our lives. So if you've never saw somebody else grieve, somebody close to you, or lost a family member, seeing your parents grieve when at a funeral, or when they've lost somebody, you may not know how to handle grief, or kind of walk through grief, heal from grief, find community support groups and kind of things like that. And so she talks about that. So the 2 biggest losses that I can think of that I've had in my adult life is my dad dying when I was 18, and then my uncle dying like 6 weeks after my dad died. And at 18, like I knew that they passed, so I'm not slow. Like I knew that they passed, but they weren't such big parts of my life where the loss was devastating. Like my dad, I think about my dad all the time. My dad did a lot of wrong, but in my eyes, he did no wrong. So I miss him, and I kind of think about like what life would be if he was here, how I would interact with him. Just kind of knowing that when you experience grief, it feels like life is over. But if you keep on living, you keep on going, you don't quit, you don't give up, you know, you get to start feeling other feelings in addition to the loss, like joy, happiness, still some sadness, pain, anger. You are still able to live and do other things while healing from grief, and knowing that healing from grief isn't linear. You never forget that person. When you say healed, it don't mean forget them, but you just makes the loss more bearable, and you kind of integrate that within your life. Usually when I read books, I always take away a main thing. That's how I know if I really got something from the book. Like I usually take away at least one thing, because I read stuff and I like to learn stuff, but I don't necessarily retain everything that I learn. I just don't. But this book, the thing that kind of stuck out to me, she was like, if you look at it in black or white, life cycle is a birth and a death. That is a full life cycle. You know, no matter what the span of it, in the middle of how long or short it was, that's a full cycle. And we will all like experience a life cycle of a birth and a death. No matter who you are, no matter what's going on, that is a great equalizer. It's a birth and it is a death. Okay, so this was my July book. August book. This is my August book. For the month of September, I read, of course, I'm obsessed with Ivan Yalom right now. A fiction book by him, and it's called Lying on the Couch. And this was really good. Like, oh, it was good. So it's about therapists going down like a slippery slope. It was 2 main therapists in this book. One therapist was like, he was gonna go against the grain and go a little rogue and do all the things that they were taught not to do with psychoanalytic therapy, which is like to basically be cold, be neutral. If somebody asks you a question, you pose that question back to you. You don't touch patients, you don't interact with them, you don't really give them advice, you don't try to guide them. And he decided like that's not a way to do therapy. That's not a way to nurture that therapeutic connection with the client if you want to create change. Like the relationship between you and your client, or the client and you as the therapist, is like to model how they want to go out into the real world. And that gives you like a real time in the present to identify actions and behaviors within that therapeutic relationship that they may be mirroring outside of therapy, and to kind of help them understand. And it kind of gives them an in-moment assessment of what's going on and like feedback. Also just about human touch and then being non-sexual and it being okay in therapy. Handshakes, hugs, exploring topics. Also self-disclosure, like telling your client things about you as a therapist, like if it helps move therapy. So this was very interesting, and it was funny because they talk about ethics, like the slippery slope of ethics, like the other therapist who is very kind of strict on the rules. He thinks that he is it on the stick and he don't do no wrong, and how he gets like conned and goes down the slippery slope of actually being unethical when he's on the ethics board. And I've been on a real kick of like mental health book lately. I feel like my last few books have definitely been about mental health, either fictional or non-fiction. Which brings me to the book that I'm reading. This was, let me see, wait a minute. This was September's book. Is that right? Yeah, I keep a notebook because I didn't read. I feel like I had read a lot, but obviously I didn't read too much. So I don't remember how the books go. Oh. I'll be right back. Forgive me. Okay. This is why I actually keep a notebook of like the books I read. So if y'all see me looking down sometimes, it's because I keep a notebook and just like the name of the book, the month I read it, and just like what I got from the book. So I just always find it helpful to look back on, to keep note of what I've read, and then look back to see like what I was thinking when I read it, because sometimes I reread books. So I do keep a notebook with a short summary of like what I got from the book. I can't breathe. I just ran up and down the steps. Again, Irvin Yalom. Y'all leave me alone. So I read this in August, Becoming Myself, which just kind of is a memoir about Irvin Yalom and how he, from childhood to adulthood, to becoming a psychiatrist, to like his home life, wife, kids. This is very interesting. Like, he's an old guy. He was born like in the 40s or the 30s or 40s. I think he is who I think he is in my head, if that makes sense. Like, before I read this book, I read like a lot of his other, like a few of his other books, and I always thought like he is self-centered, intelligent, a little bit old school, like about gender roles, and but always trying, knowledgeable. Like, I feel like when I read this, I kind of got that. One of the things that I've always wondered about, like when I read his books, is like his relationship with his wife. Because he's always talking about like how maybe his clients was cute, or he's seen somebody who was cute, or sexual attraction. Like, I just always wondered. I feel like this book answered a whole bunch of questions that I had about him and his relationship with his wife. So I'm obsessed with him right now. So I read this in August. Then I read this in September. And then again, I read Irvin Yalom fiction in October. And then I picked up another book for October, which I am now reading. And I got this on recommendation from Mara. She is like the coolest. Like, if you ever see her Instagram page, she is ridiculously cool. And I aspire to be her. Anyway, she recommended this book called The Big Switch. So this is the second book that I'm reading for the month of October. Look at me. I feel full of myself right now. Once again, it is a book about, I thought it was a book about therapy. He is not a therapist. He is more of a life coach. So he says it several times throughout the book that he is not a psychoanalyst, but he is more of like a life coach. But his title is a sex therapist. And so the main person in the book is a transcriber, and she transcribes like his therapy, life coaching sessions, and like kind of give her thoughts on it. This is a very kind of dark humor, witty book. And when I say dark humor, I mean dark humor about trauma too, like physical trauma. So it could be triggering for people, like if you have history of trauma, or like reading stuff that is related to physical violence, sexual violence, suicide. It kind of talks about like a lot of that in here, and kind of makes jokes sometimes. I don't know how to explain it. All I can say for sure is that it's more of a dark humor book. So if you don't think that tragedy, trauma, negative experiences can be joked about, or it should only be looked in a serious way, then you definitely probably would not enjoy this. And the thing about reading this, I read this meme or something on Instagram, how it was saying one of the things about reading a lot, like, you know words when you hear them and see them, but you don't know the exact definition of them, but you can use them in a sentence. And I feel like if you read a lot, like, you suffer from that. Like, you don't quite know what the exact definition of a word means, but you've seen it so much like in books and reading that you are able to use it, and it kind of sounds right in the sentence, like, because you get the context from it, and you like, let me look it up one day when you want to use it like for somebody else, or you're gonna type in a text message like, and I knew that's what that word meant, but at the time you never looked it up. That is me rambling, and those are the books that I've been reading for the past few months. Let me know if y'all are gonna check any of them out. Like I said, I am definitely in a urban yalom therapy and mental health kick on the things that I've been reading lately, and I've been enjoying it. I will try to be as consistent as I can, I will try to be consistent as I can with posting on YouTube, because I do enjoy it, but sometimes I think, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? With all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Hasta luego. Sí, español. And until then.